Hey y'all, so I got a real talk video for y'all today, and I thought I'd do it right by the lake, y'all. Isn't that beautiful, y'all? Look at all that lake out there. But yeah, I'm gonna sit right here and talk to y'all. Maybe I should face the sun. I think you get really good lighting in the sun. So yeah, I'm plain Jane today. I'm just sitting out here. I hope y'all can see that. And this is how I get my peace of mind, y'all. So I usually be at the canal, but I'm at the lake today. Like, this is just beautiful. But I wanted to talk to y'all about something. And for those, y'all seen the title. You got a man, but you single. Okay. Now, the reason why I want to talk about that is because I was thinking about something. Like, I was thinking about something, with my son. Y'all already know. And those of you who don't know, I got 5 kids. My oldest is 32. And then I have one that's 26, and I have one that's 23. Then I got a 14-year-old, get ready to turn 15. I got a 12-year-old, get ready to turn 13. But when I had my first 3 grown children, okay, I was I had a man, but I considered myself a single mom, okay? Now, let me just keep it real, keep it 100 with you while I say that, okay? It's because, okay, now, like I said, I done been through some things in my life, and I haven't always had perfect relationships. And, I've been a dummy in a relationship as far as, okay, in my situation, okay, when I consider myself, um, I had a man, but I was single, okay? Because I had a man that I was in love with, like I was truly in love with, but he wasn't doing anything to help me and the children. Like, I worked, I got up every day, went to work, bust my ass, and he half-ass worked. Or is either he wasn't working, if he was working, it wasn't beneficial to me and my kids because he wasn't giving me money to help me pay bills. So you wonder, well, why the hell would you be with a man like that? Well, it's called young and dumb. I've been there and done that. I was young when I had my first 3 children. I was pregnant at 14, so that just go to show you, how young I was. By the time I was 21, I had 3 children. So yeah, I was young and dumb, but I had kids, and I was smart enough to know that in order for my kids to eat and have a roof, I had to work. So I wasn't no, welfare mom, and I'm not throwing no shade. If that's what you got to do, then you do what you got to do. But I didn't do that. Okay, I worked because, as far as I'm concerned, welfare wasn't going to cover, okay, me and my 3 children and my bills and all that kind of stuff. So I worked, and but yeah, I think, looking back, that was many moons ago. I had a man, but I was actually single. And that's crazy because I can really relate to single moms, even though I've always had a man. And I'm like, how the hell was I a single mother, but I always had a damn man? But like I said, it's called being young and dumb. And like I said, and some of y'all can relate to this right now because it ain't just for young people. Because you got some grown people that's in relationships like that right now. But I mean, as you get older, you get wiser. At least I did. So I can't do the single mom thing with a man. No, honey, no, I ain't gonna be able to do all that. But yeah, there was a time in my life where I actually had a man, but I was working and paying all my own bills and struggling to take care of my children. And when they got sick, I had to take off from work. And wow, that's sad. So I mean, I'm bringing this video to y'all just to say that you know, if you're in a relationship where you got a man, you have children, but you feel like you single, okay? Because, like, it's like he there, but he ain't there. That's sad to have a man around, and he's physically there, but he really ain't there. Like, he don't show up, okay? And I don't mean physically show up like come home at night. And then you got some that don't do that either. But what I mean by show up is like he don't bring nothing to the table. Like, he don't help with the bills. He don't help with the kids. You know, he don't help with homework. He don't talk to the kids. He don't play with the kids. He don't hang out with the kids. Y'all don't do family stuff together. That's a red flag, okay? Because the worst thing in the world is to have a man that's there, but that's not, but really is not there, okay? That is the worst thing in the world. I've been there, I've done that, so I'm not throwing no shade. I'm just trying to help somebody else who might be in that position that I was once in. It's not a good position to be in, and of course, going back, thinking back, looking back, if I know all what I know today, I would have never done that. I would have never allowed no man in my bed, okay, that was there, but he wasn't there, okay? It was basically like he was there, to give me a wet behind, and he helped dirty up my sheets, but he never left no money on the dresser, you know, for laundry detergent, so I can wash them sheets that he helped me dirty up. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if he wasn't working and I was working and busting my ass, I should have been able to leave the kids home with him. Like, if daycare closed, or if they were sick and couldn't go to school, like, that should have been my, like, definite backup emergency plan without a problem. But no, it wasn't like that. Like I said, I had to do everything on my own. Go to the market, buy the groceries, take off from work when the kids were sick. Because my son had asthma when he was younger. So, that was a lot of time off from work. And I didn't, like I said, I had a man, but I didn't have a man. And that's pretty sad. And it's like, wow, the things that you think about when you get older and you sit back and you ponder on a lot of stuff that you put up with and you tolerated, and you like, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. But it's called life, and it's called learning experiences. And I've learned a lot through all of my experiences, and I wouldn't trade them for the world, because I wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't have all of those experiences. And another thing I want to say, okay, because I feel like I've had my kids in sets, okay? I feel like I had my first three children when I was younger, not married, not stable, didn't have no career going, like the wrong way, pretty much. And then I felt like I had my last two children. In the somewhat of the moral way of doing things. You get married first, and then you have kids and all that kind of stuff. So I felt like I had an opportunity to do it the right way with my last two children. But what I realized is that in raising my first three kids as opposed to the two that I have now, a lot of stuff seems new to me when it comes down to my two children, who are, well, one is a teenager, one get ready to turn a teenager in less than 6 months. Um, but what I realize is, y'all, look at that beautiful scene out there. I don't know if y'all can see that, but that is just beautiful. And you can hear the waves hitting up against the rocks. Wow. You can really sit out here and start to think and ponder over some things. And so anyway, and like I said, and I know times are different, children are different, and that's why it seems different as opposed to my first three kids. But it's also different and new to me, even though I have three grown children, is because I was a working parent. Okay, I worked for the majority of the time when I had my first three kids. So it's a lot of stuff that I really missed out on, and I didn't miss out on it because I was a bad parent. I mean, I wasn't the best parent in the world, but and I had my times of clubbing and going out and enjoying myself. But what I mean by when I say I missed out on a lot is because I was a working parent. And this is no shade towards any working parent, because you got to do what you got to do, okay? I had to do what I had to do. I had a man, but I had to do what I had to do. So what I'm saying is, by me being at work, okay? So when my kids would get home from school, I wasn't there. To get their lunch ready, or to talk to them about their day, or to help them with their homework. I was at work. And then, you figure by the time you get home from work at 6 o'clock, from the time you get home from work up until the time it's time for the kids to go to bed, you really don't have a whole lot of time with your kids because you got to think about it, especially as a single parent. You have to come home from work, okay? You got to cook dinner. You got to make sure the kids get their stuff ready for the next day. Make sure they did their homework. You got to get yourself ready for the next day. You got to get baths and stuff. So it really isn't like a lot of time from the time you get home from work and up until it's time for the kids to go to bed around 9 o'clock. You're only talking about 6 to 7, 8, 9. You're only talking about three, um, you're only talking about 3 hours. If your kids go to bed at 9 o'clock or even 10 o'clock, that's only 3 or 4 hours. But in that 3 or 4 hours, you're not just sitting there spending time with your kids and catching up on their day or just having a conversation with them. You're basically busy, At least I was. I had to come home from work and cook and make sure they did what they had to do, especially when they was like real little. Like when my daughter was like 5 and my son, I think my daughter was like 6, my other son was 3, and then I had just had my other son. And I was able to stay home with him for a year, my last son, and then I went back to work. So I had a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So they're not self-sufficient. So you got to come home from work at 6 o'clock, pick them up from the babysitters. By the time you get home, it's like 6 or 6:30. You got to cook, you got to feed them, you got to bathe them, you got to get their clothes ready. You got to help with, if you got one in school, you got to do homework, you got to sign paperwork. I mean, it's just not like a lot of time in there. And you tend to miss out on a lot, okay? The babysitters get to see a lot more and spend a lot more time with your kids. Or if they're in school, the schools get to spend most of the time with your kids. Because like I said, most of the time when kids get home from school, you're not home if you was a working parent like I was. So I just missed out on a lot. So I missed out on, maybe when my teenagers, like when my daughter and son, they get along really well. But, they have their little times where they get into little spats. And it's a little irritating. Like, I'm like, cut it out. Y'all, please cut it out. And then I'd be sitting there like, Lord, did my other first 3 children do this? Because I don't remember all this. But what it was that I missed all that. Okay? Um, I'm sure when they got home from school, they argued and fussed over snacks and who going to do this and who going to do that. And mommy said this and mommy said don't do that. I'm sure they did all of that. Like my daughter told me that her and my oldest son used to fight all the time. And I never knew that because I never allowed them to fight. So they didn't do that when I was around. But definitely when I was at work, when I was out, they was carrying on. And I never knew that. But like I say, no shade to no parent that got to work and do what they got to do. But um, I'm just saying that I know that I missed out on a lot of things, and that's why a lot of things seem new to me with my kids now because I'm home every day when they get home from school. I'm home, period, like all the time. So I get every time they fussing, every time they picking with each other, every time they irritating each other. Like just everything that's going on with them. I see it because I'm there every day as opposed to if I was at work every day. So I just wanted to come on here and talk about, that kind of stuff. And like I said, if you are in a situation where, you got a man, but you feel like you single, get out of that situation because it's not worth it. You might as well be by yourself. If he there, but he ain't there, child, please. Don't do that. Because like I said, that's not good. But you live and learn. And like I said, I was young and I did a lot of dumb things and made a lot of dumb mistakes. But anyway, y'all, I hope y'all having a wonderful day. Happy Tuesday, y'all. It's beautiful out here. It is beautiful. The weather is nice. I know that's all going to change soon because the almanac say that out here in Buffalo, New York, this winter is going to be worse than last winter. And y'all know last winter we got over 100-something inches of snow and a snowstorm. So, yeah, I ain't ready for all that. But I'm just enjoying one day at a time, child. That's all you can do. So y'all have yourselves a wonderful day, okay? And I'll see y'all on the next video, child. Only if it's the Lord's will, child, because I don't know, child. And catch up, because this is my 3rd video of the day, child. So you got to catch up with mama, okay? All right. Bye, y'all.